Stop. All right, here we go. We're on. Shh. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're on. Hey, it's Worldly Wise 11. Take notes, all y'all. Here we go. Augment. To increase in size, amount, or degree. Just write that down, okay? It says it right there, but augment, okay? To make bigger or more of something. Okay. Benign. It's good. Ben is good. Mal is bad. And we're going to get to that later on. So Ben is good. Mal is bad. Except in this case of that Ben. Because he's as bad. I say that with love. All right. Connoisseur. Okay, so, all right. Connoisseur is a very fancy French word. Que se diga connoisseur?
Connoisseur.
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 They're half asleep. Connoisseur. All right. I have no control. Connoisseur. It's a French word. And a connoisseur is somebody who really knows a lot about something sort of fancy like wine or, in my case, chocolate. The only thing I'm really a connoisseur of is chocolate. You can stop talking anytime now. Okay. This is the Mrs. Katz show starring Mrs. Katz. All right. So you could be a connoisseur of rare stamps also if you really know something, but it has to be something sophisticated. Like you cannot be a connoisseur of skateboards, okay? It's just, then you just collect them. Connoisseurs are fancy people. Or just, there's an amount of sophistication in it. No offense about the skateboard thing. Okay, discern. Okay, this one's the worst definition of them. It's weird, okay? Because, well, actually, there's two really bad ones. One, okay, so discern. To detect with the eyes. So to look at something is to discern it, fine. To understand or comprehend. Okay, fine. The other is to recognize as separate or different. Read through all of those. Read through the examples because it's a little bit more of an abstract sort of definition. So you can detect it with the eyes. Like, so if you can see it, you can discern it. Understand it or comprehend it. I discern my mathematics. I can discern the significance of this title. To recognize a separate, we could not discern our luggage from their luggage because everybody had one of those black rolly luggage things, carts, suitcases. All right, or in order to discern it, we put a big red ribbon on ours because we're just cool like that. All right, embellish, to make beautiful by adding decorative elements. To add fictitious details to, so you can embellish a story. Kids do this all the time because it makes a story better. Sometimes people call it lying, but sometimes it's just embellishing. You know, if you were like, oh my gosh, and then the police came and they said if they caught us again, we were going to prison. They didn't really say that. They just said go home. You know, it's after curfew. But sometimes it's more fun to say that, you know, you were threatened with prison. It just makes a better story, even though it's not exactly true. So that could be an embellishment also. Okay, this is the next crazy definition, execute. So to execute is to carry out or perform. So you can execute a U-turn if you're going the wrong way. And so you're like, I don't want to turn around. And Abby, if you could turn it this way, because my desk is so messy, I do not want everyone to see that. It's too late now, I realize, but whatever. That was bad. That was really bad. Sorry. Okay, so to carry out or perform. So you could just execute, you know, whatever, a three-point shot. You do it. The other one is to create as a work of art. So I can execute a sculpture. I can execute a painting in oils. But then here's where it gets funny. You can also execute means to put to death as a legal penalty. So you can, like, execute a prisoner. So you can execute a painting or a person. And that means death. So those are weird, in my opinion. Execute's just one of those funky ones. So watch out for discern. Watch out for execute when you're studying. If you have, like, only 5 minutes to study, spend a lot of time on those two because those are going to get confusing. Exemplify, to illustrate by being an example of. So just write it, to exemplify is to be an example of. Put that in the margins right now. Grotesque is gross. It's just a fancy word for gross or disgusting. You know how I like to say disgusting. It's because my daughter Mindy, when she was little, she used to go, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. I don't know where she heard it. Hallowed. Not a word I use a lot, but you hear always the hallowed hall. And they talk about, like, where Notre Dame plays football or something is the hallowed or sacred place. Arlington National Cemetery is hallowed ground, so that's actually hallowed. It's sacred ground. To impersonate, that's to mimic. The word person is in there, so it's to assume the character or appearance of somebody else, is to impersonate them. Malevolent. So remember I said Ben is good, except if it's that Ben, because he's not being very good. But Ben is good and Mal is bad. So now we have malevolent. So malevolent is evilly spirited, showing ill will or hatred, producing harm or evil, just evil, right? Malevolent. Ornate, heavily and elaborately decorated. Which one of these is going to confuse you? If you go back to embellish and ornate, embellish is a verb, ornate is an adjective. So watch out for that, okay? Embellish something, you do it, or it's an embellishment would be the noun form, but ornate is an adjective, like that is an ornate card. That is an ornate piece of jewelry. It has a lot of curlicues on it, something like that. Here is the word. You ready for this one? Pastoral. You could probably live your whole life and not know what this means, and you'd be just fine. But here it is in our Wordly Wise, so enjoy. Having to do with shepherds and herders. This is not very common where we live in Morton Grove. Now, I know some people in Ghana and in Germany do watch my videos. I don't know why. But maybe you could use the word pastoral. Maybe, you know, you're herding sheep and goats a lot or something. So, yay you. But we don't really do that in Morton Grove. In fact, I don't think there's any sheep in Morton Grove. But I know there's some chickens, but not sheep. Anyway, it also has to do with, though, relating to country life and often presented as charmingly simple. So if it's pastoral, it's like, oh, cute. Just a little farmhouse, a little smoke coming out of the chimney, and people planting vegetables. It's cute. It's just not that useful of a word. Okay, and then precarious, not safe or secure, dangerously uncertain. So you could be in a precarious situation. A lot of us were probably over the last. If you were outside and something happened where you were to fall down and you can't get up and your glove came off, like your hand is going to be frozen, is solid in about 17 seconds here in Mogro. So yeah, it was really bad. Yesterday I was in a precarious situation. Well, it really wasn't precarious because I could walk back in my house. But if you were stuck outside and you had any of your flesh showing at all, it could be frozen solid like that. So that's precarious. You got to get in, which is why we didn't have school. Probably you're like, what? You know, the school had heat. What's the big deal? Because if a little kid was walking to school, a little kid was waiting for the bus, and something happened where they fell down, and they didn't get up right away, or they weren't seen, you'd be in a precarious situation in just a few minutes in that kind of temperature, below zero. Okay, and the last one is renown. Fame, honor, or renowned is the adjective. So a renowned author would be Shakespeare. And if you get renowned, then you have fame and honor. So whatever you're famous and honest and honored for, that is what you are renowned for. All right, that's it. That's all she wrote. Peace out. A+ to you, okay? Whoever you are. You people in Ghana and Germany. Pastoral people. I guess I don't know.